Hello everyone, Parallel here, and welcome to Black Desert. I've been having a ton of fun with this game, so I just wanted to make a video and show a little bit of the gameplay, and maybe share a few things that I've learned just early on, and give a few tips to help with leveling, and in particular how to make use of alts in this game. This game is very, very alt-friendly, which is fantastic. If you've seen any of my other videos, you probably know I am an altaholic. And this video really, or sorry, this game is really, really good for supporting alts and sharing things across alts, and just how beneficial alts can be. All right, so let's get into it here. So I'm here on my level 21 Valkyrie, so I thought I would quickly show just a little bit of the gameplay and show off some of the combat at this level, and also just take a look at this gorgeous world. This MMO is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. It really is, I mean, hands down, bar none, the best graphics I've ever seen in an MMO. There's just no competition as far as graphics go. And it's really shown through in all the details, the character animations, just everything in this game really shows through as just having really excellent attention to detail. The graphics engine itself is really quite good. Fairly well optimized. I won't say it's perfect, but it can show quite an impressive number of characters on the screen without lagging out too much. And yes, there is a really nice looking tower there in the distance. That is very cool. You actually do a quest up there at some point. But right, so I wanted to just show a little bit here. Let's I do have some quests. I'm quite far away from town. You can actually see I pulled up the map here, and I'm going to start heading over here towards town. Actually, I do have some quests over here. Let's head right down there, shall we? Now, what I did there is you can actually right-click anywhere on the map, and it will plot a course from your current location to where you are. It's a very nice automatic movement system. Now, I know some people don't particularly like auto-move systems, but in this game it's actually quite well implemented, and the fact that this game does not have any fast travel pretty much makes this as a necessity, I think. It just makes it so much more convenient, where you can just set a course for your character, and then you can AFK or do whatever you need to do. And it sort of mitigates the fact that there is no fast travel. Right, so just running through an area there with some orcs. Now, yeah, this game is just so gorgeous. It is just absolutely beautiful. Just running around through the world is absolutely amazing. It is a very nice open world feel. And I mean, all the way, every area I've visited is always impressed. Alright, so while I'm on my way to the quest area, I did want to talk about a few things that I've learned just up to the level I'm at now. I've been taking leveling fairly casually in this game and trying to learn all of the different systems, because this game is actually quite complex, and there is a pretty high learning curve to understand all of the systems and take advantage of them. And so first thing, I mean, there are a lot of good guides out there. If you just look on YouTube, or, you know, just on the Reddit or a lot of other places, there are some excellent guides for, you know, crafting, for workers, for hey, wait a second, there's a guy with a quest here.
Where are you from? Would you like to help me if you have time? I'd take over that farm if
Interesting.
not for the imps.
So, random quest here that I had no idea that was there. Kill altar imps at the farm. Alright, so let's just do this quest while we're here. So, yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of different systems in this game, and there's a lot of good guides out there already, and I've been trying to, you know, view those guides and learn what I can about the game. And a few things that I've learned right off the bat is, one thing you want to pay attention to is your all the different resources you have in this game. Now in this game you do earn XP, and that's how you level up your character, but they're actually, and that's this top yellow bar across the top. The very, very top, it actually goes all the way across the screen. That's your XP bar. We actually have 3 other types of resources here. You've got your skill points, which you mainly get through combat, and use that to level up your different abilities. You have energy, which is very important, and that's one of the tips that I want to give about alts here in a minute, because with alts you can really take advantage of energy. But energy is another thing that you gain in this game. You actually increase your energy cap, and various activities in the game, like crafting or unlocking a node or upgrading a node, take energy to do that. So having a higher cap energy is very nice, and as you use energy, you will also slowly regenerate it. I believe it's once every, 3 minutes or something like that when you're online, and then once every 30 minutes when you're offline. So, or 10 minutes offline. It's slower when you're offline. So that's another resource you have to manage. And then down at the bottom here, you have your contribution points, another critical resource. This is what you use to unlock nodes and get houses. And you can actually see, this one works a little differently, where you also level up your contribution points, typically through quests that actually give you contribution point XP. And you also increase the cap. So you can see my cap here is 31 contribution points. Every time you invest in a node, you spend a contribution point. And if you uninvest in the node, you get the contribution point back. So you never actually lose the contribution points. It's kind of like a cap. I would like to think of it more like StarCraft, where you're kind of your supply. It's your total number of troops that you can support, basically. So this is the total number of things that you can support. So I have 31 contribution points, so I can invest in 31. Well, not everything is exactly 1 contribution point, but I can invest up to 31 points. You can always uninvest them and get the points back. Alright, so let's head in here and do the quest. But the nice thing here, just initially, is that all of these things, except for your XP bar at the top and your skill points, but your energy and your contribution points are shared across your alts, which is very, very important. So I'll switch to an alt here again and show that in just a minute, but let's quickly show a little bit of the combat and just show off some of the moves. Now, the combat in this game is very action-oriented. Whoops, I'm not in combat mode. It is very action-oriented. It is a very hack-and-slash feel to it. It's very, very fluid, and it is a very smooth combat system. I like it a lot. Lots of combos, lots of abilities. Most of your abilities are triggered through key combinations, although you can map some things to the hotbar as well. And it just is really fluid. And I really enjoy the combat. I'll say it's very hack and slashy though. It hasn't been, at least up to this point, I haven't run into any real difficult challenges yet. There are a couple of quests where you summon a boss to fight. Those are a little bit more challenging than the normal ones. But so far the combat is just so fun and fluid that even though it's not necessarily the most challenging as yet, it still is just a lot of fun just to execute the moves and destroy creatures as you're going through in mass. Oh my gosh, I can chop down. That is awesome. So that just shows one other thing. So look at this. I can actually, with my sword, I could chop down the wheat. Is that awesome? I did not even know that. Man, that is so cool. It's just things like this in this game that are just have so much attention to detail. The world just feels so alive in this game. And it's such a more interactive world. Just things like this. See, watch, I got up into this fence. If I press spacebar, you actually climb up on the fence. It's actually sort of like, I wouldn't say it's a parkour system, but it even has, I mean, you can actually interact with the environment. You can climb on buildings, you can climb on walls. It makes it feel like you're more actually connected to the world. And there's not a lot of there's very, very few invisible walls or any kinds of things along those lines. That's something that's definitely impressed me about this game. But yeah, this is so cool. I didn't even know you could chop down the weight. Alright, so let's see here. How many more of these do I got? So one thing I've noticed, and I guess this is just another tip, if you look on the map here, on my mini-map, you can see there are some dots in red and some dots in orange. One thing I found that's actually quite helpful is the dots in orange are actually quest objectives, whereas the red ones, you don't necessarily have a quest objective for that particular mob. So you see orange, I have a lot of orange up in this direction, so there's a lot of quest objectives. So there you go, there's an altar imp. I do need to kill quite a few of them. So I'll put my defense on here. Valkyrie so far seems to be a very powerful class. Compared to some of the other classes that I've tried, they take a lot less damage. They're very, very tanky. Okay, there's some orange dots over this way. They're very, very tanky, and they can dish out a decent amount of damage. And they have a lot of sustain. So you can see here their resource is actually... The resource down here is actually called, I believe it's Divine Power. Oh my goodness, this place is crawling like this. But you can see here it doesn't regenerate on its own. You regenerate it through doing normal attacks. Or you can actually do a move here where you press shifted spacebar, and it will actually turn your stamina into divine power. That's part of the reason Valkyries have such great sustain. Oh, someone's getting chased over there. Let's see if I can find some more altar imps. Valkyries also get a pretty nice little taunt here. Let's see if I can run into a group. Do a taunt. Boom, they're all on me. Very good for rounding up enemies. So I do like my light here, do a shield throw, and they're pretty much all dead. I'll just stick with this guy. So I'm definitely liking the Valkyrie class. A lot of fun. Good combination of tankiness and also good for rounding up things for AoE. And certainly good enough damage for leveling. They're not really a DPS class, I don't believe, but the fact that they have such high sustain and tankability makes them really good for just solo play. They have quite a few crowd control abilities. A lot of their abilities turn the enemy around or knock them down. And they even have a self-heal. Let's see if I can get some damage here. So your self-heal is your Shift E. You also get a defensive, you even get a counterattack. Let's see if I can do it. Yep, there's your counterattack. If you do it after you get a block. Looks like there's some more altar imps over here. And there we go. Oh yes, and I forgot about their one of my favorite attacks of theirs is like grab. Which they can grab and then slam the enemy down, and that can be ranked up to have cool area of effect knockdown. So, a lot of cool, fun skills for Valkyrie. They're not quite as flashy as something like the Wizard. Wizard have some pretty amazing looking abilities, but there you go. They are a lot of fun. They are very tanky and have a lot of sustain. All right, so let's see. So you can see here, you you can just bring up your quest log, and you can actually just click there to set the waypoint and hit your auto run, and that should take me back to the quest guy. Alright, so let's get back to talking about alts. I just wanted to show a little bit of the action there. The action is a lot of fun and very enjoyable throughout the game, which is good because you will be doing a lot of it, a lot of AoE farming in this game. But yes, so alts. Now,
Where are you from? Would you like to help?
so you can see here that that actually gave contribution points for the quest, and that next quest that I just got also is going to give contribution points. So that is pretty much the primary way. See, quests in this game don't actually give a lot of XP outside of some of the storyline quests you get from the Black Spirit, but usually the side quests in this game actually give contribution points. And you'll find that contribution points is definitely a resource you're going to want. And so you'll be want to doing those side quests. And contribution points are also shared across all your alts. So let's go ahead and get into that now. So how do alts benefit you? Now, let's head back to town while I talk here. But alts benefit you in so many different ways here. They've got almost everything in this game is shared across your alts. You see here I've got a pet eagle here. I actually got this from the pre-order pack. But this eagle is shared across all of your alts. So if you ever log into another character, they immediately have this eagle. All of your mounts are shared across all of your alts as well. So that's also very nice. All of your all of the nodes that you control are shared across your alts. All of your all of your nodes. What else is shared? Oh, the whole knowledge system. So in this game, as you defeat enemies, you gain knowledge about them. Let's see if I've got one here. Okay, here we go. So in this area, I've learned knowledge on a few different enemies here. Beehives. Okay, yep. So the knowledge system, as you gain knowledge of all these enemies, that is also shared across all of your alts. And actually gaining knowledge is also a very good way to increase your energy. So gaining knowledge is awesome. And that's also, I mean, everything is just shared across your alts. You know, all the housing that you own in a town is shared. Your storage, all your town storage is shared. The only thing that's not shared really is like of course your XP. All of your characters level independently. And of your personal inventory space here is actually not shared as well. And here we're coming up to the town Heidel. I really like this town. It's a very kind of classic stone-looking town. Almost looks like a classic European type town, which is very cool. The towns in this game are very alive. Tons of both PCs and NPCs running around. Wagons, workers, and everything just all show up in this game. Makes the game feel very alive. But right, so everything is shared across your alts. Now, one thing I've learned very quickly on here is that you do want to take advantage of some alts. So if you have other character slots, even if you don't level them up very much, you do want to at least create alts and get them a little bit into the world and use them. So as you can see here, you have energy, and as I mentioned, energy is shared across your alts. Now let's say, now all of your alts regenerate energy independently. So see here, I got 58 is my cap energy right now, and I'm at the cap. Now, if I spend all of the energy on this character, I could log into an alt, and they will have their own energy bars, so they will still be full. And I can spend all the energy on that alt, and then switch to another alt and spend all the energy there. So you can spend all the energy independently on all of your alts. Now, that's fantastic, because then that means that all of your alts, well, they're offline and you're playing one particular character, they're all regenerating their energy, and, you know, usually takes about a day, if they're offline, it takes about a day to get your energy back, and then you can, again, log in all of your alts and spend it all. And that can really help advance a couple things. Now, If you're wondering what to spend it on, I can give you a few suggestions. Now, if I bring up the map here, and I just look at... yeah, if you look at a town, or any node, any town or any node, you can do something here. If you click on it, you can say invest energy, and that will level up that node or town. And that's actually very good. You want to do this because leveling up a town or leveling up a node will increase the drops that you get when you're farming in that area. It will also help increase things like fishing when you're fishing in that area. And I believe it might even help when you're like gathering or doing resources, gathering resources in an area. It might also help with that as well. So you want to level up your nodes. And it takes quite a bit of energy to do that. So I've been, let's see, what am I working on here? I have a farm over here. See, there's some of the other nodes that I control. And here is where I've been doing my copper mining. I did level this node up to 2. Here we go. So I've been leveling up my ash farming operation right here. And you can see I've put some energy into it. And if I invest some energy here, I just invested 10 energy and it gave me about that much. So 20, 30, 40. So I just invested 40 energy into that node, and it didn't quite get it to level 2. So you can see here now my energy is down pretty far. All right. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to one of my alts. And one thing that's nice in this game is you can actually switch, when you go to the disconnect option, you can actually switch to an alt without actually going to the character screen. So let's log in my ranger here. Pretty nice for switching. It does take 10 seconds to do it, and you do have to go through the loading screen. But now you can see that this character is at 19 energy. Now if I log in this alt, I'm actually not sure if she's at full, but she will have her own independent energy bar. We'll see what she's at as soon as it logs in here. But then I can use this alt's energy to also invest in nodes. And since nodes are shared across all of your characters, it's like a account-wide investment. So you can invest in that same node on this character, get it up to level 2, and now that node is level 2 on all my characters. Okay, so let's see here. I'm at 31 energy on this character, so I did spend some earlier. It didn't quite regenerate to full. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can see here I have all the same nodes under control that I had before. Even the map, see how the map, this character has never been beyond Velia, the town Velia, but even the map has been completely revealed because my other character has been through all this area around Heidel. So when I go down here and go back to the, oh, that's where my potatoes are. Let's go over here to my ash farming. So as you can see, that energy I invested in my other character is still here, and I can invest a little bit more and a little bit more. And there we go, level 2. So I got to level 2 on that node. And now all my characters, all my characters will have that at level 2. In fact, it's kind of the idea, it's what they call a family. Basically, when you first create an account in Black Desert, you'll create a family name, and all of your alts are kind of part of that same family. That's kind of how it works. So basically, everything in this game is just shared across your family, which is all of your alts. One other thing that's shared across all of your alts is your workers. So you see here I have my worker list, and let's see here. I'll send him off. I'll send him off as well. So all of your workers are shared across all of your characters, and you can queue them up for jobs on any character, and of course they will continue even if you log out and go on to another character. But one thing is you'll find is when you start getting into workers and you want to hire workers, the way to do that is you have to go up to one of the worker supervisors. If you go into any of the major towns and go to this thing that has like a pickaxe, that is the worker supervisor. And so this is another way that you can spend energy in a valuable way on your alts. So firstly, I would invest in nodes. That's a very good way to do it. It takes quite a bit of energy, and having lots of alts that you can log in and all invest into a node will really help speed that up. But so when I talk to this guy, now when I say if I want to hire a new worker, you have to come here and say contract worker, and guess what? it costs 5 energy to do that. And it costs 5 energy each time you want to look at a worker. So, and each time you do that, there's a random chance of, different qualities of workers, or if it's a goblin, giant, or human. So you have to go cycle through this, fairly often in order to get, if you're looking for a particular kind of worker or a particular quality, you'll have to do this quite a bit. And each time you do this, it costs 5 energy. So let's go ahead and do it. So here I got a green quality giant. If I want to view another worker, you can say view another, but again, it would cost another 5 energy. I've only got 7 energy left. So this is a goblin, so green quality goblin. And I'm not looking to hire him, but if you want a higher quality worker, you have to do this a lot. You'll have to say view another and view another and view another, and it will have to be, you have to have a lot of energy to do that. So that's 2 ways I've found to dump your energy. So investing in nodes and hiring workers of higher quality. So you can see here I actually have a couple of gold quality workers and a bunch of blue quality workers. And I did that basically by logging into all the different alts and talking to the work supervisor. Try to just keep getting that random chance of getting a higher quality worker. So yeah, that's just a few tips, and you can see right there is Claw, my bird, is right on this character. So yeah, pets are shared across everything. So that's just a few quick tips there on how to use your alts, and just want to show a little bit of gameplay. Now before I finish off here, I do want to show one more thing. And this is again something I learned early on that is a good way to make money, and that is fishing. So you can do this very, very early on. You can even do it in the first town. So the first town you start in is here, Olvia. And you eventually make your way over through some questing, and you come over here to Velia. And this is probably when you want to start fishing. You'll be about level 10 to 12-ish by the time you get there. It's a good time to start fishing and making some money. Now the reason, fishing is not necessarily the best money if you're online. If you're online, if you're just hunting or farming creatures, you probably earn a little more money that way. But what makes fishing great in this game is that you can do it while AFK, and you could just leave the game running and come back, like say you're about to log out for the night, instead of logging out, just come over, set up for fishing, and come back the next morning, and you'll have lots of fish that you can go sell, and it works out very, very well. The fish actually sell for pretty decent. Here, let me show you where you can get a fishing pole first. But the fish sell for pretty decent, and particularly early game, it's really helped me to be able to afford hiring workers and getting a decent set of armor off the auction house, and it's really helped. It's not huge amounts of money, but it is enough to actually afford your housing, your workers, investing in everything, and it just helps to get that initial boost to start making money. And actually, later on, once you have better fishing poles, you find higher level fishing areas, have a higher fishing skill and everything, you can actually make a lot of money at fishing in this game. All right, so first you need to buy a fishing pole. You can, if you're in Velia, you can come right here to the fish vendor.
Welcome.
Fishing poles only cost 500 silver. You should easily have enough by the time you come there. But there's also other fishing vendors. If you want to fish right in the initial town, there's also a... you can also buy it, I believe, from the tool vendors, which are right here. They have like a sickle. The tool vendors will also sell fishing poles. Here's another fishing vendor. And you can actually craft better fishing poles, but this one works fine to start out. So just get a normal fishing rod. It costs 500 silver to do. You got your fishing rod, then you come over and you find some water. Now the way fishing works in this game is that if there's a lot of people fishing in an area, it will become depleted, which means it takes longer to get fish. But even in depleted areas, I was able to make a decent profit. Once you come there, all you have to do is equip your fishing pole. Just right-click on it. Then all you have to do is press spacebar. And that's it. Minimize your game, log out for the night, come back the next morning, you'll have lots of fish in your inventory. You'll probably be, either your inventory will be full or your fishing rod will probably be broken by then. But that's okay. You only spent 500 on it, and you should have a nice stack of fish, and you'll be able to sell those at the trade vendor and make a pretty decent amount of money. I mean, initially you're not going to make a whole lot. Even if you only make like 30,000 or 50,000 if you fish for the whole night, that's quite a bit of starting out money. It really helps just get that initial boost so you're not broke all the time. Even when you can also even click on this ability here to throw away useless items when you're fishing, which is quite nice. You can actually see here where I'm fishing, resources are exhausted. Right here in Velia is a very popular fishing area, so I'd not recommend doing it here. I know there are like super secret, really high quality, oh, I can't do map while I'm here. But there are some, really, high quality fishing areas out there that, are, I guess I can't have that one. I can't bring up the map when I have the fishing pole equipped, which is a little annoying, but there are, areas out there that are good for fishing. I found, along here around this northern coast is not nearly fished as much, so you can get better, better chance of catching fish up there. But you can really go anywhere if you just want to log out quickly. Just go up to any body of water and start your fishing and log out for the night. You'll at least make some profit off of it. Just so you know, to sell fish, you can't actually sell them at a regular vendor. You do want to have to take them to a trade vendor and sell them that way. There's kind of a whole system around trade vendors as well, which is, I'm sure there's better guides out there for that. But, you could try to transport your fish to another farther away vendor and make more money off of it. There's all kinds of ways to optimize your fishing. But if you're just looking for early game just to make some spending money, just go to the closest trade vendor, take your fish and sell it there. The one in Velia is right over here, pretty close to the stable master. It's right there, trade manager. Just come to the trade manager. Why do you have a quest? Oh, it gives 50 contribution XP. So yeah, you just come up to the trade vendor. You come up to where it says trade, and you'll see over here on the right hand side all the fish that you've caught, and you can just say sell all, and there you go. Make some quick money that way. Helps out a real lot early game, and if you check out a fishing guide, eventually you can make a ton of money fishing. It's something to eventually get into. Man, look at those graphics. This game is so beautiful. Yeah, let's turn the UI off here. Yeah, this game is just so amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at the town of Velia. It's absolutely beautiful. But anyway, that's all I wanted to show. I just wanted to just give a few quick tips, just things that I've learned early on trying to optimize how you spend your energy using alts and making some early money with fishing. It's easy to do. And, it helps out in the early game. Man, I just can't stop looking at this game. It is so gorgeous. But, yeah, I'm definitely having a lot of fun with this game. Like I said, I've just been leveling it casually. I'm only level 20. I know other people, I'm sure, are already level capped and farming, massive gear. But I'm just having a lot of fun taking this game slow, learning the systems. It is a very different kind of MMO, so I'm not really in a rush to try to get to the end game at this point. I just want to enjoy things along the way. But there it is, everyone. Hopefully this video helped. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope you're having fun with Black Desert. I sure am. It's definitely a very unique MMO and a really great experience. All right, well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.